Back with a little NFL preseason action here. 2-game slate on a Friday afternoon. 3-man booth here with the crew, Rubio Dimes and Bruce, as the chat loves to call him. Bruce taking time away. It's his wife's B-day, but taking time away to do the show. True man of the people, Bruce is. Got to start with him. Bruce, how you doing here? What's the plans for tonight? Big plans?
Yeah, I think we might head to a Chili's, maybe some movies. Not sure. Maybe get a little triple dipper. Not sure if there'll be enough time.
Ooh! Did I love a triple dipper when I was a young kid? I did love. I actually lived my street. There was a Chili's like right in front of my street, so like I could like walk there very easily as a child. So we always used to go to Chili's. It was right there. So can't go wrong with a triple dipper back in the day. That was a lit app.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Rubio, you definitely fuck with the triple dipper.
I had my first triple dipper in December of last year. It changed my life. Yeah, like I got it. It didn't really change my life.
So wait, are you telling me it was the first time you tried that app, or was the first time you tried Chili's?
Yes, yeah. We weren't a Chili's family growing up. I just tell you, we just weren't a Chili's family. So I got Chili's for the first time, and man, it's good. You know, they also, for people who DoorDash and stuff, It's Just Wings is actually a ghost restaurant, a ghost kitchen, they say, for Chili's. So their wings are actually Chili's made, and those are really good too. I mean, Chili's makes great food, and Bruce is going to do the right thing tonight. Take the wife to Chili's, get a triple dipper. I mean, what a guy.
I'm stunned, Bruce, that Rubio's first time going to Chili's was just recently. That's insane. I know he's only like 23 or whatever, but like that is crazy to me. I expected Rubio to be like a frequent Chili's kid. No, just nothing. I can't believe it. I'm in shock right now. So you tried the triple dipper. There's a few things at Chili's you got to try, but that's definitely the go-to. You got to try the triple dipper first. So for sure. But what is this here? Banking JSU equals JSN today, I guess. Yeah, I'll take it. I mean, JSN's a pretty good player, so take that. I don't know how well he's going to do on this slate, but we'll get into it. We're going to break down this 2-game NFL preseason slate on DraftKings. Obviously, talk a little pick six with you guys. We'll roll through this slate position by position, and at the end of the slate, we'll do a little pick six at the end to get it going here. Don't forget as well, if you're into MLB, we will have an MLB show on this channel in about an hour and a half, starting around 5 Eastern time. So stay tuned if you're looking for the MLB winners. We'll have you covered. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel as well. If you're not subscribed, hit that button, subscribe to the channel, and thumbs up. Hit the like as well. We appreciate all likes, as this is a free show. We love that thumbs up. If you guys love this show, hit that thumbs up and subscribe, ring that bell, and get notified every time we go live with these shows. Rubio Dimes, breaking this thing down here, 2-game slate. I know you and Bruce handling the projections, the playbook, the core plays and everything like that. Just like a quick overview here on this 2-game slate before we get into it.
Yeah, you're going to have 4 teams tonight, which kind of tight spreads. I think 3 and 3.5 for the lines here. And then you also had a decent adjustment off of over and unders from last game. I don't know if anyone saw, but I think overs went 14-2 last week. And I think a large part of that is actually going to stay consistent. I think you're going to see a lot of overs continue to hit, especially when the kickoff rule completely changing where drives start. I think that's just kind of an underrated thing, and I think we kind of saw it. And I know it's not the sole reason for it. There's also been just better play. Some, we've seen some defensive touchdowns here as well. But these drives that are starting at the 35, 40-yard line, even you're having kickoff returns like Travion Henderson has one. Start a game. I think there's still going to be points in these games, and 37 and 39, as far as the over-unders, those are pretty high. And I'm hoping for points here, JSU. We got, a decent quarterback situation. We're going to be kind of sticking. I don't think anyone's going to get north of a half just yet. We get news on that later on, but I know our favorite team is going to be the team that got shortened last week, and that was the Atlanta game. And we'll definitely be stacking a lot of Atlanta tonight, JSU.
Yeah, I'm with you here. I definitely like Atlanta. We'll definitely get into Atlanta in a sec. Bruce, anything else to add to Rubio's kind of overview of this slate?
Yeah, I think he said it well when he said Atlanta. I mean, it's they're short everywhere. Most likely, probably get Easton Stick and Emory Jones quarterback, and then running back room is short. Wide receiver room is really thin, and tight end group is thin. So, yeah, it's I mean, other than those guys, probably have 4 or 5 Atlanta guys in my main lineup, and then try to make the rest work. So, yeah, it's a pretty easy slate, I think, for a 2-gamer. More looking forward to the other slates this week, but yeah, it's still a solid slate, and I'm going to play because it's football on a weeknight, on a weekend night. So I'm ready to go.
Hell yeah, I'm ready to go anytime there's football on a Friday. Got a few people in chat. IPT 00. What's going on, brother? We got Jeff. I got my water. I'm good. Warm water. So don't worry about me. I'll stay hydrated during the show. Bink King, by the way, my bad. I'll get it right. I always get it right the second time. Says JSU, get it right. Sit 2x Millie Maker winner. My bad, Bink King. My bad. But Spaniard, what's going on, my guy? DB's in chat. We're in store for 50K. He says Bruce, he's ready for the 50K for Bruce. So hopefully Bruce gives the low-owned gems, which he always does. And also, too, speaking of Bruce, low-owned gems, not just preseason this guy does. He also does college football. Heads up the college football product at Run Pure Sports, which we will have a package out for next week. I know college football starts, I think, the 23rd of August. So in about a week or so, but we will have that package out. So anyone waiting for the college football package, we will have a college football package out, which, Bruce, you do the projections, obviously core plays in the Discord, everything like that. Do you want to just talk real quick about, college football and the season? Because you've been doing it for a while for us over at Run Pure Sports, and the people love it. People love college football.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and this is a pretty huge season. I mean, a lot of changes over the break. We had a lot of transfers and whatnot, so it's very tiring trying to keep up with these guys. But I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I got all my best ball projections up. And that's been a fun thing to keep us kind of occupied in the off season, and it's going to be a great season. I think we have 4 or 5 games on Saturday. I think Iowa State and Kansas State are playing in Ireland. I think it's really weird. But that's going to be a good game, and there are some others as well. So looking forward to that on Saturday, kicking off.
And then the weekday slates, you still cover those. So like those 3 gamers on like a Wednesday or whatever they are, like you still cover all those slates. So it's not just the big Saturday slates that you cover. You cover them all.
Yeah, and like the only thing we don't really get to are the small FanDuel slates. But if FanDuel makes them better this year, we might even get those piped out as well. So yeah, it's a lot, but man, I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way for sure.
There we go. So check out the best ball product. Like I said, we will have that package up next week. If you have any issues or any questions about it, you can always shoot us a DM, a message on Twitter, myself in Discord, whatever you want. Any questions, feel free to shoot them over about the college football season or the NFL season, because we also have the NFL package up as well for anyone who wants to join for the NFL season. It does get you pretty much preseason free at the rate that it is. So check that out as well. Let's dive into this 2-game slate, though. And like I said, with only 2 games, we will go position by position here, starting out with these quarterbacks. And you look at the pick 6 props here with these quarterbacks, fellas. Obviously you got like the known quarterbacks like Cam Ward, Sam Darnold. Lower projections, though, than some of these other guys like Easton Stick and Drew Lock at 95 and 94.5. Those are the two highest on the board right now. And then you've got guys just below it. Allen at 79.5 for Tennessee. You got Milroe from Seattle at 75.5. Bailey Zappi for KC, 73.5. And then Jones, 69.5 here. I assume you guys are probably not interested in playing a Cam Ward, a Sam Darnold. But, Rubio, talk about them real quick. What are you doing with them? They're probably not going to play a ton. And then where are you going from there?
Yeah, I mean, what you're probably going to see from the Titans, you're going to kind of see similar to last week, right? I think Ward played a couple series. He looked halfway decent there. He kind of connected with Calvin Ridley on a few throws too. Chikakonkwo, the starters are going to be playing. Pollard's going to step up and play probably that same amount, right? Then who knows what the cutoff is? Sounds like a couple. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if he got 3, just a little bit more than like last week or something, where he played roughly a quarter of the snaps overall, right? And I know that they kind of underwhelmed overall. 29-7 was the result, but what you're probably going to see is very limited Pollard, right? I think it wouldn't even shock me if they sat Pollard, just because you already have one of your alpha dogs at running back kind of already sidelined. But your Cam Ward for about a quarter, I would guess, and then after that it's going to be Brandon Allen, who could play about almost a half, but we don't really know what to expect. I mean, don't they have Trevor Siemian? I think Bruce, I think you had that on your depth chart that you posted in our Discord too. Who I think he's replacing one of the other quarterbacks. I forget, but they replaced their third quarterback after last
Boyle,
week.
Tim Boyle.
How the hell Boyle was still in the league? He threw 4 for 13 with 2 interceptions. Holy cow! Yeah, like you didn't need to know that, right? Like, come on, who didn't know that Tim Boyle was going to do that? But yeah, so Brandon Allen could be playing a little bit more extended time if they kind of don't want to throw Simeon to the Wolves right away. But I still expect all 3 guys to play. As far as playing time goes, though, JSU, it's like same boat as like Darnold, right? It's like Ward and Darnold are going to be like almost exactly the same. And I got to applaud DraftKings and pick 6 here. I mean, their props are kind of on the money, I got to admit. And I didn't really see a lean where I was like, man, I really want to get the over, or I really want to get the under on one of these guys. But I mean, Drew Lock could play about, kind of splitting time with Jalen Milroe. You could probably see about 40% of the game for both of those guys. I mean, the one clean 50-50 split that we got, it's probably going to be Easton Stick and Emory Jones. And I mean, just by default, those 2 guys are going to be 2 of the best plays in the slate. I know Bruce talked about Emory Jones last week. He called him a Florida Gator. He's really a UC Bearcat. Or what was the other school? Who cares about the third school? But all these transfers nowadays. You got the rushing upside with him. But if you really want to go like big brain galaxy take here, they didn't get to play the fourth quarter. Emory Jones snaps were kind of limited. You could see, maybe Easton Stick looks good, or plays about a quarter and a half, and then Emory Jones gets a little extended time here in the second quarter plus the whole second half. But yeah, really, I think Stick and Jones are my 1 and 2 here. JSU. Milroe would probably be that third along with Locke. But I don't think I would play a Chief or a Titan at quarterback today. I think I would stick with Atlanta or Seahawks for the most part.
Yeah, God, I had a stat with Easton Stick. The guy's just not good, though. I'm not even going to look around for it. He's just not that good. I can't play Easton Stick. But Bruce, you were talking about Jones, and you brought up he has rushing upside too, right, Jones, Bruce?
Yeah, he's very fast. He was there about the same time with Anthony Richardson, and I think they were kind of battling out for that starting spot, if I remember correctly. And both of them had good rushing upside. So yeah, he can run. He just always had problems passing the football. When he got to Cincinnati, it got a little bit better. So maybe he can hit that over. I think it's at 69.
Honestly, though, for preseason, like the defenses, it's more vanilla, right?
Mm-hmm.
Teams aren't trying to like show everything too much. So you're going against more vanilla defenses anyways. So I kind of worry less about the guys that can't pass in the preseason if they're just extreme athletes or they're super fast, like what you're telling me right now. So I'm probably going to lean Jones over Stick if I have to choose between the group. But what are you doing with those 2 guys? Because it seems like those 2 guys are going to be, interesting targets tonight in the rest of the QB room.
Yeah, you don't worry about it too much unless you're like Graham Mertz or Tim Boyle. Those 2 guys, man, those are some really bad performances last week.
I'm never playing Tim Boyle ever. So I don't
No.
got to worry about that one.
Graham Mertz might have been worse. That was really bad. But yeah, I would lean using Emory Jones over Stick. Stick's kind of just boring. He's the missionary type quarterback. Just doesn't wow you too much. He looks okay sometimes, and then others he doesn't. So yeah, I'd lean Emory Jones here. You're going to get those backups in the fourth quarter too. So I always tend towards playing those guys over the starter.
What are
Yeah.
you doing with like Milrow in the him, because obviously he's another guy. He's got speed. Obviously Drew Lock's got the bigger passing prop, but it's kind of, to me it looks similar. Like Milrow's got the rushing upside. We know what Drew Lock is from a passing standpoint. Probably one of the better passers we got in these backups, but from a rushing upside, like Jalen Milrow has that like big time.
Yeah, and he's gonna run the football, so he's gonna have much more upside here against third and fourth string guys. That's always good to see. Averaged almost 13 yards per carry last week when he did run the football. So yeah, if he increases that a little bit more, that could get you the upside to win a tournament. And he in college he loved throwing the ball down the field too. So could see some deep shots to some of these receivers.
Yeah, top two quarterbacks, Bruce, if you had to rank them out of this list.
Man, I'd probably lean towards Milrow and um, probably Emory Jones. I don't want to
Yeah.
play. I mean, it's a tough quarterback slate. I mean, I would play the guys that are going to get the most playing time, and those two guys are probably going to get the most playing time, and they run the football. So yeah, I'd lean there.
That's what I'm with you. Those are my two guys too. Rubio, how are you ranking the quarterbacks if you had to rank them? Top two or three quarterbacks?
Yeah, I mean, I think a big thing to note here, JSU, is like, you can have a pool that's pretty decent today, like 4 or 5 guys. If you're doing, 4 or 5 lineups, you can have a quarterback in every, a different quarterback in every single one. The key thing that we got last week that we didn't know coming into the preseason was who's going to play with who. Well, with the Falcons, who Emory Jones is going to play with. He's going to play with Nick Nash, right? And like you're going to see him be a great stacking options with Emory Jones. Same with Dylan Drummond, who was 8 for 54 or whatever with Easton Stick, right? 8 for 63. So you also have like Chris Blair in the mix too, like who got caught a touchdown from Easton Stick. I really like mixing up the quarterback because look, we can like Milrow and Jones for the rushing ability. Stick and Lock both threw the rock decent last week, and they connected it with a whole bunch of wide receivers. It's about getting the stack right here, JSU. If you're a big fan of Nick Nash like I am today, I'm going to lean toward a lot of Emory Jones. But if you're also like, you're a big fan of Jake Bobo, hey, throwing some Milrow in there.
How are you not a Jake Bobo guy? You just strike me as a Jake Bobo guy.
Oh, man, Bruce is a bigger Jake Bobo guy than me. I ain't even close to as big of a Bobo guy.
Bruce is the Jake Bobo guy. I knew we had at least one Jake Bobo stand on this show. I didn't know it was going to be Bruce. I thought it was going to be Rubio for sure. All right, well, we'll get to the wide receivers. We'll get to the wide receivers. Don't worry about that. We got Dub KJ in the chat. He says, I'm just here for the Chiefs takes, so don't worry. We'll get to your Chiefs here. Gene asked for the Seahawks starters are active today, ? Rubio, Seahawks starters going to get a little burn today?
Yep, sounds like they're going to get a few series. Similar to the Titans situation, about 1 to 2. I mean, I would think 2 drives would probably be the safest rule of thumb. I got them allotted for that. And then Charbonnet, same situation as Pollard, right? Kenneth Walker's kind of banged up right now. Spears,
he's not playing.
Yeah, exactly. Like Kenneth Walker's not going to play. Spears not going to play. Charbonnet shouldn't be extended past what Darnold's going to play. So we'll get to the running backs and receivers in a second, but I would expect 2 series for Darnold and probably the rest of the starters as well.
Yeah, DB asked about my how happy I was with my 555 team yesterday. I did a best ball draft on DraftKings yesterday. We live streamed it. It was on this channel. So again, if you're not subscribed, get subscribed so you get that notification. But you can go back and watch the live stream. It's on this channel. But yeah, I did a 555 team on DraftKings with ODB and Wiley. And honestly, I was happy for the most part. I don't feel like I got like crazy falling value, but I felt like I got a bunch of players that I like this season. I didn't feel like stuck with certain, you know how sometimes you get in ranges, especially when you're on the ends and you just feel stuck and you're like, well, I got to take at least one of my 2 picks. I got to take someone I don't like. I didn't feel like that that much throughout the draft. So I was pretty happy that I didn't feel that way. I ended up with a Dallas Denver stack. The only thing I was kind of pissed about was I didn't take Turpin in that 18-19 turn. I tried to wait until my last pick in the 20th round, and he got taken from me like 4 picks before. So that was a little annoying. Outside of that, I like my team. So I tweeted my team out too. If you just want to go check it out, you can check it out on my Twitter at JSURab. But yeah, the live stream's still on this channel, so you can check it out as well. But that's Best Ball Talk, which you guys should also play over on DraftKings. They've got awesome best ball contests, a $20 with $2 million to first, $15 million prize pool. They've got a bigger, dollar amount for $1 million, 555, which is the one I drafted in yesterday. That's $1 million to first if you want to go a little higher stakes. They also have the single entry and 3 entry higher stakes contest. They got a $250 single entry contest with 50K to first and a $100 3 max, which is my personal favorite. I love the $100 3 max. Pretty sure it's 100K to first. And you can check all those contests out over on DraftKings Best Ball. Let's go to the running backs, though, talking a little preseason action for this 2-game slate today on DraftKings. Rubio, back to you. You said it was a Falcons slate. I assume you're going to like some of these Falcons running backs, but what are you doing?
You got to mention how Elijah Dotson failed us last week, man. I jammed him in, Bruce, especially after that news that we got that they only ended up having 3 active running backs basically, and I jammed Dotson in fully, and he got 5 carries and got the same yards as you and I. 0 yards rushing. He did have a catch for like 11 yards or whatever, or something like that. It might have been for 6 yards. But either way, I'm going right back to the well. Right, you're gonna have a very similar situation here. I think it's 3 guys for the Falcons tonight. Same guys: Dotson, Carter, and Corbin. Is what we are expecting. Carter, Michigan State guy. I mean, he's just someone where I'm okay with him, right? I don't really expect the Falcons to, just highlight anyone in particular with like over 40% of the snaps. I kind of have them divvied up around the same amount. Corbin probably playing to clean up in the 4th quarter or so as well. So it's like 33%, if you wanted to really allot it. But the Falcons are going to be the team to target, JC, because there's only 3 of them, right? So after you get past them, you're going to kind of find yourself to where, the Chiefs are going to have plenty of guys. But I did note that Brashard Smith played a lot. He also had a decent fantasy output too. I mean, that's the one thing to kind of mention is, he's a 7th round rookie, very talented. We know what he can do. If he just gets playing time, he can really be the best running back, on that, in this game, I should say, overall, with the Seattle Seahawks in there too. Someone mentioned the weather there. It's going to be very rainy in Seattle. What's new? But hopefully the wind isn't too high, but obviously a little bit of slop. If you see that total trend down, that'll be the main thing. If you see the total trend down, you can have slight concern then. But for me, it's kind of a non-factor on a 2-gamer. If it was like 8 games or so, I would be more reactive to that. But we only have so many limited spots where it's like, I can't really pivot to a different guy in the earlier game when I'm already jamming out the earlier game as well. But as far as like Seattle goes, you're going to have about 4 or 5 guys there too. Atlanta, you're going to have 3. Kansas City, you're going to have 5 or 6 even if Pacheco gets a series, which we don't really know what that situation is going to look like. But Rashard Smith's going to be my guy. And then on the Titans side, I mean, I go back to Mullings. He played pretty well last week too. I think he had 33 yards rushing. He would be my favorite amongst that bunch too. If they're not going to play Pollard a ton, you're kind of looking at 4 guys there too. So yeah, if I had to rank them right now, JSU would probably be Dotson 1, Mullings 2, Smith 3, Carter 4, kind of in that ballpark. And you can definitely double stack an Atlanta running back situation today.
Going back to the Dotson pain. I respect it. You go in one day, you got to go right back in for the next. Can't have him crush after you were just in on him last time. So I respect that, Rubio. And I will say, just to add on about the total and the weather and stuff like that, I feel like we've seen a lot of overs in the preseason. So yeah, if you start seeing, because they've been getting killed with the overs. If you do start seeing that thing, tick down a little bit, that's when you would get concerned. I wouldn't get concerned though until I see that start to happen. So Bruce, talking a little running backs here. You got to give your take on Atlanta because, like Rubio said, they're thin. They got 3 guys, and then the rest of the RB rooms. You're on mute. That's the first time we've had it all preseason.
Got me.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Atlanta's definitely the best spot here. I kind of like Corbin a little bit, just because he's going to be going in that third and fourth quarter. Carter kind of looked good too. He got a target down the field. I think he had a 25, 30 yard down the field target. So I always like to see that, especially in the preseason. Just shows that they trust him catching the football a little bit. Yeah, he's solid. What are you doing with Halani? It's the big question every week for me. I just can't stand the guy. Every time I play him, he's terrible, and when I don't, he does what he did last week. 7.29 yards after contact per attempt, which is crazy, and just absolutely smashed last week. So that's a decision I have to make later, I guess. I think Jacardier Wright looked really good for Seattle as well. I know Damian Martinez played like most of the snaps for Seattle. So yeah, it's running backs kind of tough outside of the Atlanta guys. Brashard Smith, like Rubio mentioned, he's such a good player. He started out at Miami as a receiver, transferred to SMU, and became a running back, and he can still do those things through the air as well. So always love those guys that can kind of do both. And Mullings also had a big game last week, over 4 yards after contact per attempt, and they like him a lot, and they kind of want to see what he's got. So I want to have some of him as well.
Yeah, I like the Mullings call. Brashard Smith, I'm definitely on. I don't know what I'm doing about Halani yet. I want to. Rubio did Rubio talk about him a little bit, because I don't remember him really touching on him, and he was the hero last time out.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Mama Rocks in chat giving Bruce a shout out for the best ball for CFB is a money printer. Yep, like we said, Bruce handles the CFB product over at Run Pure Sports. He's got the best ball stuff rocking. He'll have the full slates rocking with projections, everything like that. So we'll have that package up. But if you are a member at Run Pure Sports and you got the full package, you got the premium package that gets you all the sports and everything like that, check out the best ball product he's got for college football. I no doubt it's awesome. So make sure you guys check that out. But Rubio, got to get your take on the Seahawks running back Halani here.
Yeah, it's like you're 6 or 7 of jamming in Halani on a slate right now, but I don't know, man. I'm just, if he beats me, he beats me. That's how I feel. I'll just be completely honest. I'd rather have a chance on Martinez, or even going away from not just going away from Seattle, but going down to Wright or someone who played a very similar snap count too. This is my thing too with running backs. I like targeting the Falcons because I know they're going to get a lot of work, right? With the Seahawks, I don't think it's, a slam dunk that Halani is going to just get, 30% of the work. I think there's a decent chance he just kind of gets a quarter or whatever. And that's my thing too. So it's Halani probably gets a decent amount of ownership tonight. I don't think he's any different than any other running back in that backfield. I'll rather.
How long do you think he gets, Rubio?
About a quarter.
Okay.
I think the situation that I kind of had was I gave, there it is, Charbonnet about, same amount as Darnold, right? Then I had Halani, Martinez, and Wright taking up the same amount of time each, because that's what they did last week. They kind of got very similar snaps last week too. I mean, that's the one thing. We already have a sample, right? We already have a sample of what these teams did, and what you saw with them was 21 snaps for Wright, 18 for Halani, 22 for Martinez. And you can say, well, Halani played great. He wasn't out there as much because he already proved himself or whatever. Cool. I mean, he's still a third or fourth running back at best. It might not even make the team or whatever. But yeah, I'll take my chances on Wright and who was that last guy I mentioned? Martinez all day over Halani.
Chris asked, do you guys think Cousins plays at all? Question.
I do not. No, I think we had both had Cousins and Penix sitting out for this one.
Yeah, we have Stick and Jones pretty much combining for the whole game right now for the Falcons QB situation. So, and then what's going on, my guy? Block punts, bong rips, season continues from Garden City, Colorado. Welcome. DB asks, who you say 3 RB build or 4 wide receivers? Do you guys like the 3 RBs or 4 wide receivers? Answer that while I feed my dog.
You know what, Bruce? I kind of want to bring this question up to you too, right? Because I looked at my projections, right? I posted them up. They're on Saber now, right? You can go see them if you're a Run Pure Sports member. The top 2 guys on the slate, non-quarterbacks, were both wide receivers. Nick Nash and Drummond. Dylan Drummond. Now, running back wise, then it becomes Dotson, Smith, Carter, Mullings. We don't see a wide receiver until we get to one Jake Bobo. I think I still think it's 3 running backs. I think that's been the theme every single year in preseason. But if there was a move to make 4 wide receivers, tonight's not a bad night to do it. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Outside of the Atlanta spot, it kind of gets dicey. You don't have ton of upside everywhere. Across the 4 teams. I think Seattle probably has a little bit of upside at running back. With all their talent there. But yeah, I would think that in tournaments for sure you can get different and play those receivers in the flex, and you'll be different than most for sure.
All right, there we go. That answered the question.
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys have anything else on the running back position? And if you guys have any more questions too, feel free, throw them in the chat. We'll try and get to them as we roll on here. Gene says Atlanta is saving Cousins for a trade. Maybe the Rams. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens with the I don't know if the Rams are gonna trade. They got Jimmy G. I know he's not good, but they got Jimmy G, and it sounds like they've been talking up the third quarterback. Who is it? Stenson, is that his name? I can't remember. Stenson Bennett. Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to trade for Kirk Cousins, but hopefully Stafford comes back at some point this year. He's a tough dude. I struggle to see Stafford being out like all year. He'll just say screw it at one point and just say I'm just going to play with the back injury and see how long I can last. But yeah, we'll see on that. Chat wants to know, Bruce, top 3 running backs for you if you had to rank them.
Yeah, I'd probably, let me go. Corbin is my number 1. I'd probably go Nathan Carter as my 2, and maybe Mullings as my 3. Halani can be in there somewhere too. I just don't know what I'm going to do there. Those Seattle backs are so good too. I mean, it's rough, but yeah, those would be somewhat make up part of my top 3.
And then Mark asks, why no Mitchell, Rubio?
The Kansas City Chiefs, they have a really large running back room for a preseason slate, right? You're going to have, they just signed Michael Wiley, right? So that's something that Bruce had on his depth charts. Carson Steele is not just a fullback. He's going to get plenty of work in the running backs as well. Elijah Young, Brashard Smith, and Elijah Mitchell. There's 5 guys there. Elijah Mitchell may be the best pure runner. I mean, that's the one thing. He's got a decent prop. I'm just skeptical of using guys in 5-man backfields overall. I think he's fine for a flyer. I'm not going to sit here and say, though, that, I'm confident in what he's going to do in a quarter, because I'd rather have a quarter and a half, right? It's just about playing time at that point. But you're probably going to get about a quarter with Mitchell, and that's good. But it's not elite, but I think he is a fine filler as like a 3rd running back overall.
A lot of times in preseason, you have to choose between, do I want the guy who's going to end up playing more, or do I want the better overall player at said position? Mm-hmm. And you got to make those choices a lot in preseason. And I think most of the time people are going to lean guys that are playing more than just the ultimate better running back in this scenario, which would be Elijah Mitchell. But, how much is he going to play? There's 6 running backs in the backfield. Do they want to see more Smith anyways? Because he's kind of the guy that, who knows? I think Smith is definitely one of those guys, Rubio. They are figuring out, okay, do we want to keep this kid? Is this kid good enough where we can keep him instead of one of these vets or something like that? You know what I mean? Because obviously we know Pacheco. We have a couple locks in the running back room for Kansas City, but is Smith good enough to be the 3rd guy, right, on that depth chart, or the 4th guy? Or do one of these other guys kind of beat him out? So it feels like they probably want to see him a little bit more, just in general. But I get being a little apprehensive on Kansas City in general, just because of how many backs they have here. I don't see Carson Steele available for Kansas City. Gene says, he's got a prop here, 16.5. Rubio, you got him available tonight?
Yeah, I didn't see him being ruled out. Might be worth noting that he is kind of listed as a fullback at times, right? So, if you don't,
that's his position.
Yeah,
he's not a running back.
Fullback doesn't exist anymore unless you're Kyle Juszczyk.
I don't know. No, was it Aaron Glenn who was talking about how he loves the fullback position? He wants and he's bringing it back. Like he wants to use the fullback. I think it was Aaron Glenn. So some coaches don't want to just throw the fullback out, Rubio. Some coaches want to bring it back.
Fade the Jets.
You said fade the Jets.
Fade the Jets, man.
Funny, I was talking to Big T on the phone today, and he told me who his favorite quarterback was. I don't want to give a spoiler alert to the people because we will have more best ball shows next week, and I will be bringing on guests. Spoiler alert, Big T will be coming on it at some point. But you know who his favorite QB is to draft?
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields, baby. Justin Fields. Yep. I love it. All right. That's the running back position. Let's get to the receiver position here. And I don't know. Do you guys want to lump in the tight ends too? You could if you want, but let's start with the receivers because, they're the more important parts of this discussion. You got the Seattle guys. JSN's got a prop at 18.5. I doubt he plays that much. Jake Bobo, 19.5. Horton, the standout rookie Horton's got a 26.5 projection. I think it's got to be one of the highest on the, that's one of the highest on pick 6 right now. Drummond, Rubio's boy at 24.5. Nick Nash coming in at 21.5. And then Royals, another rookie who's looked pretty good. Those are some of the top pick 6 props here for tonight over on DraftKings pick 6. But Rubio, we got to start with, I want to start with Seattle because, you got Horton, Jake Bobo with pretty decent props. You got JSN up there. What are you doing with the Seattle wide receivers?
Yeah, Seattle is an interesting team. I think the highest snap count that I got for one of them is going to be around 40%-ish. So, you're probably going to see Jake Bobo kind of carry the load. You're going to have Horton kind of carrying similar style. And then kind of a tier down, Young and White, Ricky White, that is, 2 guys there that could probably play a decent amount. And then everyone else kind of just white noise to me. I'm not going to concern myself with a couple drives of Smith and Jigba or Cup or even MVS, who I think that was a promising DNP last week. I think maybe he is firmly the number 3 wide receiver in that rotation, but remains to be seen. But even after accounting those guys being in, 40% of the snaps for a guy like Bobo is more than solid enough. Horton, same way, who, had a preseason props last week that were really high, and they're still really high at 26.5. Bobo, 19.5. Those are the 2 best Seattle guys without a doubt. Ricky White, and he's okay. I think I'd rather, I think if I ranked him, it would be kind of in the same fashion that DK has him ranked. It's Horton, Bobo, and then White would be like number 3 there. And you could even make the case that Young could be number 3. But Seattle's wide receiver room, though, is a good one to target. Could have 1 or 2 wide receivers in your lineup from them.
Yeah, it does seem like you might want a receiver from Seattle, Bruce. Which one's your favorite? What are you doing with Horton, obviously, too, being that, he's probably going to be one of the more popular wide receivers.
Yeah, and, he's probably already made the team with how well he's played. A lot of people talking about how he's already jumped MVS. He caught a touchdown last week, like a really nice touchdown, little spin move there to get into the end zone. So I think more that like Cody White and Derek Young are the two like fighting for that last spot. I put that on my depth chart in there. So I mean, I love Torrey Horton as a player, and when it comes closer to the regular season, I might play him as like a 3K wide receiver, hopefully. But I may if he's going to be super owned. I think I prefer towards having less in the field, especially on a 2-game slate like this. Seeing that he's already probably made the team, I might have less tonight than I'd love, because it's like he's one of my favorite receivers to watch. I kind of like a guy like Jalen Royals a little bit more, just because he's going to be in there with that second, third group most likely. And then all the Atlanta guys, Nick Nash, Drummond just smashed last week, Chris Blair. And then, you have the Tennessee guys. I saw a tweet earlier today that said that Cam Ward was really feeding A.O. Manor and, Calvin Ridley this week in their scrimmage. So I think they're trying to get the ball to those guys, kind of see what they got. So I don't mind A.O. Manor because he's going to be in there with some with the first group, some with the second group. Brandon Allen going to throw some balls his way. So I like him and Restrepo. Restrepo is going to be in there with the third group, and he's a really solid pass catcher. His ADOT last week was near 20, over 20 yards. So I like to see that as well for preseason for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad that hopefully they're getting rid of the idea of possibly having Van Jones on one side of Cam Ward and just going right to let's see what these rookies got, guys, because I definitely don't want to see Van Jefferson or whatever on one side of the of Cam Ward or whatever. Calvin Ridley's obviously going to be on one. I think Tyler Lockett's going to be in the slot a little bit, but that third spot, that second outside receiver spot, I feel like is up for grabs, and it seems like Ayumanor is winning that battle right now so far.
Yeah,
so
and
never
forget last year he had close to 300 yards receiving on Travis Hunter in a game when a couple overtimes. That was one of my favorite games of the year last season. He actually mossed him on one. He caught a ball on his helmet, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, I remember seeing the highlights of that because obviously Travis Hunter. So you got all the highlights of that, and that was the not so great one for him. But he's pretty talented. Rubio, you were bringing up Drummond, Nick Nash. We talked about Nash last time out. He didn't do a ton. I know he got over his prop though. I'm pretty sure. Whatever it was.
They shortened that damn game on him, JSU. He played one drive and had 3 catches.
That's what it was. Yes, that's what it was. I couldn't remember. I was like, I know something weird happened. He got over the prop though, like quick.
Because I remember they still counted all that stuff. I mean, that was kind of crazy. And it goes case in point too with what we were saying as well, is that I really like the thin Atlanta Falcons room, right? That's the one thing that we can kind of just come away from this show is that you're gonna like the Falcons. And we really like them here. Nick Nash being number one. I love the over. Go ahead and tap that over button for me. Go ahead and tap more than 21.5 receiving yards for Nick Nash because, they were trailing last game, but he's also just an absolute fiend for the ball. And, I just think that, what we saw in very limited time was kind of an appetizer to what we will see tonight. I was kind of disappointed. I think it cost me quite a bit of money when that game didn't resume because I jam-packed that game, but I also locked Nick Nash. That's fun. But overall, it is one of those things, too, where Drummond, 8 catches in a preseason game is no fluke. Shows he's got a connection with Easton Stick, especially. And when when DB asked, do you still consider stacking as much in preseason? Yeah, because now we got the sample, right? We got the guys who played with each other, right? We know who's going to play with each other. We know Drummond's got a good connection with Stick. We know Nash has a decent connection with Emory Jones. We know who is going to play in the same half as the other for the most part. And I think stacking is even more important now, especially if you're only building a limited amount of lineups. You can really take advantage of that. I mean,
that's a good point.
I think, just going through these other guys too, like Nash and Blair's going to be a good click too. A big game last time out as well. But I really kind of wanted to hammer down the point too on a Yomanor. He played a lot, and him and Chamari DK also played, a ton too. So if you kind of go with those rookies there, they're my two favorite for the Titans without a doubt. Just on pure playing time, and then you can kind of talk about the Seahawks with Bobo and Horton. And then on the Chiefs side, I don't really like a wide receiver for them. Royals played a decent bit. He is going to be number one on the Chiefs, for me, if I were to rank him. But other than that, I mean, I'm mostly sticking with Atlanta with sprinkles of Seattle and Tennessee. And then Kansas City's kind of an afterthought for me here at the wide receiver position.
See, I like Royals, Rubio, and I know Bruce talked about him a little bit. I feel like, and I know this doesn't matter for this game, but in general, the Rice news could possibly help him specifically because he's going to need a few games. He's not going to come off week one and be out there a ton, no matter what, if Rice was suspended for like 6 games. So I think now that he has all of preseason and at least the first 4 games to kind of sit a lot more and watch and learn from Rice and Worthy and all those guys. I don't trust Hollywood Brown to be healthy ever. I think Royals could have like a nice midseason bump in playing time when Rice goes out. And I wonder if like the Chiefs plan an idea thinking that the league could suspend Rice for like 5 games or 6 games is like, hey, he gets to play in the preseason. He'll get to sit for a few games, learn a little more. Because if you remember, it took Worthy like half the year to kind of figure everything out, and then he kind of got it. Royals could be like that. He could be someone that benefits from the Rice possible suspension in the, kind of not middle of the year, but a little later into the year. So I'm wondering, I think they're going to run him again, kind of like they did, and try and get him the ball a little bit more, see what he's got. So I like him personally. I think he's a good play, but I get it.
He's the best.
Or you going,
yeah,
you just want to go with the more condensed, spots, which I understand.
Yeah. And he's the best Kansas City without a doubt. Like in my opinion, he played probably the most. I think I have him head and shoulders above the other Chiefs in terms of just playing time. Right now, like I don't have a single Chief over 34%.
You mean you don't like Sky Moore? You don't like Sky Moore?
Well, he played 30% of the snaps. Sky Moore, he played the second most snaps, I think, last week for the wide receiver crew. I think Moore is a fine click, but I think Royals played more than him. So I think I'd rather have Royals. Holiday is there too. And then, I think you can maybe make the case for Sky Moore there too. I know you're joking, but Brownlee didn't play a ton.
Yeah,
just for what it's worth, Chris. Like Brownlee, I think he played like 20% of the snaps or whatever. After catching a ball from Patrick Mahomes to start us off, I was kind of shocked.
Any thoughts here?
I would have loved for Badger to play more. That's the thing. He just didn't play enough, right? That's a guy, I feel like we jammed his overs every single slate last year on in college football. And that was one of the best things. But it's just purely playing time. I don't think we're going to get more than a quarter from a guy like Badger tonight, even though his talent is really good. Like I said, though, I'm wrong a lot, right? And if you guys think someone's super talented and they can get it done in a quarter, play them. It's preseason. Who cares about the extra 5 minutes, 6 minutes of game time? If you really like a player, play them. Don't let us talk you off anyone, especially a guy who's just as talented as Badger. But for me, it's like, just talking about from a DFS point of view, it's just going to be a lot of Falcons and sprinkles of Seahawks and Titans.
The whole goal is just to let you know what you're in for, right? You just know that guy's probably playing a quarter. You know what I mean? So don't be mad when they pull him out and he's only got 1 catch for 5 yards and they're like, yep, he's done. Like that's just what
just happens. Like Craig
Bruce,
Reynolds, we think just a quarter, then he plays an entire half and then screws us in the Hall of Fame game,
Like you said, you're not always right. You can't always be right with these things, but educated guess sometimes you're still on the wrong side of it. Bruce, do you want to finish off the receiver position if there was anyone else we missed, and then you can dive into the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it's still the Atlanta guys. I mean, I just keep coming back to them. Like Sills, someone mentioned in the chat, Chris did, that he was solid last week, and he's still going to play a ton along with Blair and those other Falcons receivers. Those guys are just like head and shoulders above everybody else when it comes to how much time they're gonna get. So yeah, man, I like going back to that spot, Sills, and I think he could come in lower owned. And his A dot last week was 23 yards. And you absolutely love to see that in preseason, especially. Just a big play guy, kind of like Garrett Green, former West Virginia quarterback that became a receiver. He's he's gonna do big things for us, hopefully. This Keyshawn Smith guy for Kansas City actually looked good as well. I think he had a touchdown catch last week, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. He maybe got stopped at the goal line, but I thought he looked good too. If you want to like a deep wide receiver play there, that's going to be pretty low owned. I think he's solid too.
There we go. A little low owned play. Do you want to dive into the tight ends, Bruce, while you're there?
Sure. Yeah. Get pulled up here. Let me open it
on
up.
pick six right now, there are a few tight end props. You got Helm at 15.5, Arroyo at 16.5 for Seattle. You got Bobby Tunyon at 15.5. Chig Okonkwo down here at 13.5. And I'm pretty sure Chig played or ran 100% of the routes run with Cam Ward in the game. So he got the Cam Ward passing down work specifically. So 13.5, it's a low number, but he's probably only going to get what, 2 series, Bruce?
Yeah, that's right. He probably will just play with the starters and come out. So I mean, it could even be one drive if it's a really, really solid drive. So yeah,
True.
I mean, probably lean towards the under there. Tunyon played 51% of the snaps last week. So he definitely has to be in play. He's not the best receiver out there, but I mean, he had 16 yards per catch last week. I think he's solid. Joshua Simon also played a lot, and that game got shortened, so he could have been in there more. They're just really short at tight end as well. So he was good at South Carolina last year. Really athletic tight end, catches everything. So he may come in a little under owned, and he's a solid receiver. I think he's a good play. Martin Robinson for Tennessee also played quite a bit, and he's been a preseason hero in the past. I think he's solid too, so I don't mind going back to him as well. I think if I had to rank them, I'd probably go. Our guy Arroyo is probably up there too, so I'd probably go Martin Robinson, 1 for me, and then Simon and Tunyon and Arroyo somewhere in there too. So yeah, those guys are all solid plays this week.
Yeah, DB says has to be Chig or Arroyo. It sounds like Bruce would lean Arroyo in that one. Rubio, how are you going about the tight end position here on the slate?
Oh man, Robert Tunyon played a ton last week. It was kind of shocking. It was like one of those things where you're like, that dude's still in the league. That dude's playing over 50% of the snaps in the preseason. It was kind of like an eye popper there. But yeah, I mean, he's going to be a good click because you just saw what he did, 3 for 49. That's more than good enough at the tight end spot. If you gave me more than 4, I'll bite your hand off at the tight end spot for it. I'm actually in hand in hand with Bruce there in the Chig under just because, look, I'm the biggest Chig fan that I know for fantasy football this season. He is going to be a top 10 tight end in fantasy football this year. He is absolutely going to crush. He's shown just a ton of talent. The coaching staff has just been in love with him. He stole the job after they tried to take it away from him with Josh Wiley, and he ended up, shining. However, if he's only going to play 1 or 2 series, you take an under on 13.5 on a tight end all day. We did it last week with Colston Loveland. We're going to do it again with Chig Okonkwo. I love what Bruce said there. Helm, he is probably going to play a very similar amount to Okonkwo, but they might just want to see what they have more in the tank. And that's why, I think Arroyo and Tunyon are going to be 1 and 2 for me. Arroyo played a ton last week. Very good click. 16.5 receiving prop is solid. I like what Bruce said, though, about Josh Simon, right? You're going to have, 3 tight ends in Atlanta. You're going to have a decent chance that one of those guys, like Felipe Franks or, a guy like Simon could play significant time in this game. neither of those guys are going to be as high owned as Arroyo or Tanyan or Okonkwo. Even Okonkwo will probably be about like 8-10% or whatever. I say this, I think I've said it 4 straight shows, but it's like a tight end can be all the reason in the world that you win a slate because 60% might take 1 or a 2 or even a 0. We've already seen 60% zeros from a tight end in preseason this year. It's going to happen again. If you play a guy like Simon and he catches a touchdown, like Darnell Washington last week, JSU, right? He scores a touchdown, gets 8.9. He is like one of the top tight ends on the slate already. And it just took
Will Dissly in the Hall of Fame game, right? All these random tight ends that just catch the touchdown.
And that's the thing. It's like, Dissly's case, right? Like we didn't really expect any playing time for him. And that actually ended up only being like 2 drives for him. But at least with Arroyo, you're going to get half the game. But it's like, don't be afraid to play a guy who's going to get 40% of the game and might not be as talented receiving the ball, but no one's going to click him. Right. And that could be the Simon on this slate.
And Simon's going to play the bulk with Emory Jones, right?
I think that's a very safe guess there. That's a very safe guess. Yes.
I like that. All right. There's the tight end position. Defense. There was a question. Are we getting a little double dipper today? I saw it earlier in this slate. We're getting triple dipper. Sorry. Triple dipper. Well, you guys see any defenses that we could correlate with a skill guy?
Would be Brashard Smith and the Chiefs would probably be my closest guess.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a really good one.
All right.
We
don't need a ton. We just need one.
Is Remigio running back punt still? I think he's solid too. So
he could.
He might be. Yeah.
I think they're mixing in Remigio and Brashard Smith. So yeah, that's not a bad one either.
There you go. All right. There you go. Chiefs and one of those 2 guys, Smith, Remigio. And defense guys, any, outside of that, just like, do you guys have your favorite defense or are you just kind of mixing it, Rubio?
I've had my favorite defense. I've actually had success with the defenses this year. So time to knock on some wood and let's pick this next defense here. All right. So my big thing is which quarterbacks are they going against? Right. That's the number one thing. And I kind of keep landing on potentially going with Seattle's defense, right? I think Zappy's going to have a stinker today. I think, kind of a weird rotation there too. I don't think Mahomes is going to play. I don't think Minshew is going to play a ton either. And you're going to have Zappy and Oladokun. Fuck that name up.
No, it's close.
No, it was close, Bruce. What is it?
Bruce said it was close.
I don't know. I don't know it either. I just know it's close.
It sounded close, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly why you should play the Seahawks defense tonight. I don't even know the hell the third stringer's name there, right? That's exactly it. Who? I can tell you who. He's going to be throwing a pick 6 later on to the Seahawks defense.
All right, Seahawks defense for Rubio. Bruce, you got a favorite defense?
Yeah, it's in that game as well, just because it's going to be raining and winds about 15 miles an hour. So yeah, it's either going to be Kansas City or Seattle for me. I'll lean Seattle just because it's they're the home team. So yeah, I'd lean there as well. Don't mind Kansas City either.
Yeah, I like those 2 defenses for sure. Don't be afraid to play a defense against your quarterback in these 2-game slates. That's always, a strategy because, first of all, it doesn't even have to be your quarterback that throws the pick 6. It could be the one before it. And either way, it's just going to get your quarterback the ball right back. So either way it happens, it's fine. I like the Chiefs just because I like the Seattle quarterbacks a little bit. And then, obviously, like you guys talked about, Seattle's still a good defense at home. So I definitely like that game. But yeah, don't be afraid to go against your quarterback on 2-game slates here. All right, that's the full 2-game slate. We're going to do a pick 6, and then we'll get out of here. If you guys haven't checked out runpuresports.com, get over there. We do have our full single sport package up for NFL. We will have one up next week for college football. We have the Run Pure Premium, which is your best bang for your buck. That gets you all sports, bets, Saber Sim 500, so 500 lineups, the Sims, everything like that. Run Pure Premium, that's your best bang for your buck. But we got the whole thing. You can sign up for a week, a month, the annual, single sport packages, up to you guys. Check it out. And make sure you get in the Discord as well. Once you sign up for a package, whatever package you decide. Link it up, get in the Discord. If you have any issues with that, you can always email us info@runpuresports.com or shoot us a message on Twitter. But yeah, get over there, check it out, and smash the like button on this video if you're enjoying it right now. I'm going to make sure you actually submit it this time, this Spaniard, my guy. Let's make sure we click it twice. So, all right, boys, we got to get a pick six winner in. We've got 2 in there right now. We got Nick Nash for more than 21.5 receiving yards, and we've got Chig Okonkwo under or less 13.5 receiving yards. We want to keep those in, right? And then we'll just build out a couple more.
Yep. Looks good to me.
Let's do it. Who's got the first one here? Rubio, you got the first one? You are on mute. You're on mute.
Oh, brutal. But yeah,
That's
with
twice.
there,
Now both of you have done it.
we were due. You know, that's the main thing.
We were.
But yeah, with Nash being one of my guys, I'm actually super tempted here to just pair him up with his quarterback here. And little did we know, I think this one just pinged up. It just pinged up. I think Emory Jones was lower than 76.
It was 69.5.
Yeah, it was 69. That's why I remembered it. That's why I remember it was 69. And that
always got to remember your quarterback. That's 69. Emory Jones is now my favorite quarterback on the slate.
Over 76.5. Damn it, Emory Jones.
Damn,
we didn't get the value on it, Jay. So you took too much time.
Yeah, we took too much time. That's our bad right there. That's our bad. All right, Bruce, you got another one for us?
You know, we just talk about him on the show and it just goes up. That's just the way it goes.
That's it.
I like Milrow over 26.5 rushing yards.
Oh, we're going right back to it. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you would like that. I almost stole it from him.
You said more. You said more or less?
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, more.
Okay.
So
all right, Jalen Milrow.
Took him one run last week to go over his total. I think it was pretty close to that. I mean, he had one long run and he was there. So yeah, that's my guy. I'm gonna go back to him.
All right, you're gonna go back to that. Man, I shit on Sky Moore. Should I take his under on 15.5, Rubio, or do you not like that?
That's a nervy one, but I respect the hate, right? Like if you're gonna hate on a guy like Sky Moore, you hate on him, right? Like, that's the number one thing.
Yeah, you got to go fully in on the hate. You know what I mean? You just got to go fully in on the less than 15.5 receiving yards for Sky Moore. All right, this one.
That's the main thing. Gotta let him know, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you got to let him know. All right, so we want to do one more. We want to get this 15x here. So let's do a. Oh, you got one. All right, good.
You got it.
Perfect.
Sticking with the Falcons. But
oh, God.
I'm curious. This one can be vetoed. No rushing attempts for Easton Stick last game. Several dropbacks. 8.5 rushing yards under on Easton Stick. Are we happy with that? Are we entertaining it? What do we think?
Bruce, I'll let you make the final call.
Yeah, let's do it. No rush.
I didn't like the other. Did you have something better, Bruce, by chance? Did you have another one?
I was going to check his previous preseason games to kind of see where he ended up. I know he's had some rushing games in the past. Let's see. So
I was gonna say a Carson Steele prop because they got 500 running backs. If he's on the board, could go less than. But
2023, he had 27 rushing attempts for 144 yards, so 5 yards per carry. So. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is a preseason, so it's going to be close to that.
Yeah, you know what? With the uneasiness, Chase, strike it off the board. All right, Bruce has spoken. Strike it off.
I like it. Just struck it off. Do we want to go to your boy Dotson, Rubio? Where do we want to go?
No, I don't want to go back to Dotson.
No Dotson. Let's see. Do we like a passing touchdown?
No, I hated those.
No. Okay.
If they gave us the unders, that would have been fun.
I know that would be cool if we could get the unders.
You know what? Here's the thing. You know what? I'm happy with Carson Steele under if you want that because only 3 carries last week. How many guys got a carry last week? It is crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Let's do it. I like it.
Yeah,
a couple quarterbacks in there, but I'll happily take the under on that.
Yeah,
All
and
right, there we
they
go.
brought in
So
Wiley. They brought in Wiley to get some carries too. So
Yeah,
be
that's
good to see
right.
the Prez get some
always
carries.
got to fade it. Always got to go under on a team that brings in a Wiley. That's what I say. So that's the pick six, guys. Nick Nash, more than 21.5 receiving yards. Chigokonkwo, less than 13.5 receiving yards. Emory Jones, more than 76.5 passing yards. Jalen Milroe, more than 26.5 rushing yards. Sky Moore, less than 15.5 receiving yards. And Carson Steele, less than 16.5 rushing yards there. Oh, and I got a little 30% boosteroo there for 20 bones.
They've been doing that boost every single time. It's nice.
Love that. Love that, DraftKings. Keep that up. You got to keep up those winners there. Check my location. This become a theme on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll reject me the first time, and then I'll just get it the second time is normally what happens. Let's see.
You also had some UFC ones go out, right? You guys nailed the UFC pick six.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. 2 weeks ago, we nailed UFC. We didn't get it last week, though, unfortunately. But golf, the golf show last week, they got their pick six in golf. They hit all 6 of their picks. So, yeah, pick six has been rolling here at Rumpier Sports. I'll make sure to tweet this thing out once I get it actually submitted. And I will, there we go. Bang.
Always
are submitted.
screen.
I got the confetti too. It's always
yeah.
Rubio when I hide the screen for a second. So I will tweet this out for anyone that wants to tail. I hope you guys enjoyed the 2-game slate. Get over to Rumpier Sports. Check us out. Make sure you get in the Discord if you do sign up. JBC 100K win will still get you a free week for any monthly packages if you want to use that. Only for monthly packages, but that will work for a free week for any new members that want to try us out. And yeah, we'll have preseason content all throughout the week. Rubio, Bruce doing the bulk of it, but all the slates coming Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We'll have preseason content out for all of those days. Correct, Rubio?
Yes, sir. We're going to have preseason up there the entire time, JSC. I didn't expect to speak yet. I was updating the Saberson projections here. I updated some of the tight ends there. And while we were talking and stuff over the show, they did post the college football 3-gamer. So it's a 3. They left off Iowa State and Kansas State, so they made it a night slate. So lots of fun to be had. We'll have tons of stuff next week. I know Bruce will be grinding heavily on college football, and I can't wait. Football, it's here.
Can't wait for the college football package to get up. It'll be up next week. Guys, check that out as well. We're going to get out of here, though. Get in the Discord, get our cores, playbook, everything like that. Projections updated for Rubio Dimes, Bruce, and myself, JSU. Good luck in your DraftKings preseason action tonight, and we'll see you guys later. We're out of here. Peace.